This is Andrew Tate in February 2025. Returning to the United States while facing multiple criminal charges in 2 countries. But just 3 years ago, he was one of the most influential men on the internet, commanding millions of followers and claiming to be worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Well, what color's your brigade?
From kickboxer to self-proclaimed top G, from internet celebrity to criminal defendant. This is the story of how Andrew Tate's empire of misogyny and alleged exploitation came crashing down, and how justice is finally catching up with one of the internet's most controversial figures. Andrew Tate's story begins in the world of kickboxing, where he achieved genuine success as a 4-time world champion. But it was his transition from athlete to entrepreneur that would define his controversial legacy. In 2016, Tate appeared on the British reality show Big Brother, but was quickly removed from the house. The reason? Video footage had emerged of him appearing to attack a woman with a belt, an early warning sign that would prove prophetic. Though he claimed it was consensual, the pattern was already emerging. After relocating to Romania, Tate built his fortune through what he openly described as manipulating women. In a now infamous interview, he explained his business model, running webcam operations where women would coerce desperate men into handing over their money. He chose Romania, by his own admission, because he believed the country had more relaxed attitudes towards sexual assault allegations. But it was during the COVID pandemic that Tate's influence truly exploded. His Hustlers University, essentially a pyramid scheme disguised as entrepreneurship training, attracted thousands of young men seeking get-rich-quick schemes. The business model was simple. Students paid to join, then earned commissions by recruiting others, spreading Tate's content across every corner of social media. Tate weaponized controversy for engagement, making increasingly outrageous statements about women. He claimed women were men's property, that rape victims should bear some responsibility, and that women shouldn't be allowed to drive. The more outrageous the statement, the more the algorithm amplified his reach to impressionable young men worldwide. By August 2022, the major social media platforms had seen enough. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook all banned Andrew Tate for violating their policies on hate speech and dangerous misinformation. But rather than retreat, Tate doubled down. He claimed the bans were evidence of a vast conspiracy, what he called the Matrix, trying to silence him. But what exactly did Tate mean by the Matrix? This wasn't just borrowed movie imagery. It was a carefully constructed conspiracy theory that became the foundation of his entire defense strategy. According to Tate, the Matrix is a coordinated system of governments, media companies, tech platforms, and elite power structures working together to control society and suppress anyone who threatens their narrative. In his telling, every criticism, every ban, every legal consequence wasn't the result of his actions. It was proof that his message was so dangerous to the establishment that they had to silence him. This framework was psychologically brilliant. It offered his young male followers external validation for their frustrations, while making them feel like enlightened insiders who could see through the deception fooling everyone else. Struggling with dating or career success? It's not your fault. The Matrix has rigged the system against you. This victim narrative only strengthened his appeal among followers who saw him as a martyr for their cause. Despite the bans, his content continued to spread through clips and dedicated follower accounts. But while Tate was building his online empire, Romanian authorities were building a case against him. In April 2022, police raided his compound near Bucharest, following reports that an American woman was being held against her will. Though initially released, this raid marked the beginning of a serious criminal investigations. Then came December 2022, and perhaps the most ironic moment in internet history. After attacking climate activist Greta Thunberg on Twitter, Tate posted a video response featuring pizza boxes from a Romanian chain. Romanian authorities, who had been tracking his location, used those very pizza boxes to confirm his whereabouts, leading directly to his arrest. On December 29, 2022, Romanian police arrested Andrew Tate, his brother Tristan, and 2 Romanian associates. The charges were severe: human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal organization to sexually exploit women. The man who had claimed to be untouchable was now in handcuffs. According to prosecutors, the Tate brothers recruited women through false promises of love and relationships, then coerced them into performing in adult webcam videos. The alleged victims described a systematic operation where they were isolated, manipulated, and forced to generate profits for the brothers' empire. As the investigation deepened, authorities began seizing assets. Luxury cars, properties, and millions in cash and cryptocurrency were frozen. The flashy lifestyle that had attracted so many followers was revealed to be potentially built on the suffering of vulnerable women. For 3 months, the Tate brothers remained in detention while prosecutors built their case. They were then moved to house arrest, but the legal proceedings continued to intensify. In June 2023, Romanian prosecutors formally indicted all 4 defendants, signaling that they believed they had sufficient evidence for conviction. The charges continued to mount. In 2024, prosecutors added new allegations, including trafficking minors, money laundering, and witness intimidation. Each new charge painted a picture of an operation far more extensive and damaging than initially understood. But Romania was just the beginning. In May 2025, British prosecutors authorized 21 criminal charges against the Tate brothers. Andrew faces 10 charges including rape, actual bodily harm, human trafficking, and controlling prostitution for gain. These charges relate to alleged crimes committed between 2012 and 2015, suggesting a pattern of behavior spanning over a decade. The international scope of the investigation demonstrates unprecedented cooperation between law enforcement agencies. Romanian authorities have agreed that the Tate brothers will be extradited to the UK to face these charges, but only after their Romanian trial concludes. This means Andrew Tate could potentially face decades in prison across multiple jurisdictions. Meanwhile, authorities continue to untangle the brothers' complex financial network. Investigators are tracing money flows across multiple countries, examining how profits from alleged exploitation were laundered through various business ventures and cryptocurrency transactions. As the cases progress, former associates are providing testimony that further exposes the alleged criminal enterprise. The wall of silence that once protected the operation is crumbling as witnesses come forward and evidence mounts. On February 27, 2025, Andrew Tate arrived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a free man for the moment, but one whose legal troubles are far from over. Romanian authorities had temporarily lifted travel restrictions, but this freedom came with conditions and the shadow of impending trials. Today, Andrew Tate faces criminal charges in Romania and the United Kingdom, with the possibility of additional investigations in other countries. If convicted on all charges, he could face decades in prison. Civil lawsuits from alleged victims are also proceeding, seeking damages for the harm they claim to have suffered. The contrast is stark. The man who once boasted about being above the law, who claimed his wealth and influence made him untouchable, now finds himself at the center of international criminal proceedings. The private jets and luxury cars have been replaced by court dates and legal restrictions. His influence, once vast, has dramatically diminished. While some hardcore followers remain loyal, mainstream society has largely rejected his message. The deplatforming from major social media sites, combined with the serious criminal charges, has effectively ended his career as an influencer. Most importantly, alleged victims are finding their voices. Support networks and advocacy groups have provided platforms for women to share their experiences and seek justice. This represents a broader shift toward accountability in cases involving online influencers and the exploitation of vulnerable individuals. Today, his empire lies in ruins, his assets frozen, his platforms gone, his freedom restricted by international criminal proceedings. The man who mocked the idea of accountability now faces decades in prison across multiple countries. Andrew Tate's downfall proves that even in the age of social media celebrity, consequences can catch up. The only question now is whether they'll stick.